Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back. This is the part 1 of fan modeling tutorial. In this part we're going to go through all the add-ons that we're going to be using, as well as we're going to set up the whole Blender scene from scratch. Basically, we're going to take Blender, which I just downloaded, and then we're going to set it up so that we don't get any confusion later. So let's get right into this. Okay, so I just turned off my camera so that you could focus, and let's go. So this is a completely fresh Blender version right here. And yep, so let's just open it and we're going to set it up together. Okay, there we go. So let's get started. First, so you will need 4 add-ons: box cutter, hard ops, mesh machine, and machine tools. Machine tools, it's a free add-on. You can get a paid version as well, and then all the other add-ons, they are paid ones. Hard ops and box cutter, it's like $40 on Blender Market, and then mesh machine is like $40 as of now, 2023. Yeah, so let's go. Let's click edit, preferences, and make sure that we enable all the add-ons. So boom, enable box cutter, hard ops, and then let's scroll down, find mesh machine and machine tools. There we go. So we got machine tools and then mesh machine, enable those, and let's go. So first of all, you'll notice that this icon appears here. This is for hard ops. So we are going to start by setting up hard ops. So let's go. So you click on this star icon right here in the setting, and you make sure that you enable this auto T panel. What this is going to do, basically, when you enter hard ops menu, you can press Q, and let's say bevel, you see this tab on the left disappeared. Now if you press N to bring this tab, so this is N key tab. If you press N, you'll get this. If you press T, you'll get this. And then if you just press Q and press something like bevel, you see they disappear. That's what that setting does. Boom. It just makes the whole view more clear, and then if you just press H, for example, you can just read what all those things do, what each button does, basically. Okay, so there we go. And then let's go back to it, and you also, I believe you had to enable this as well. Yep, so add prefix unselected cube menu items. Yes, so just enable that as well. And that's it with hard ops. Now with box cutter, so you can switch between box cutter and hard ops by holding Alt and pressing W. So like this, you can see here all the keys that I'm pressing. So now if you see this tab at the top, and then it says here at the bottom, when I'm switching between them, activated hard ops, activated box cutter. So just Alt W, and make sure that you have activated box cutter on, and then you'll get this setting in here. So click on it, click on input, and make sure that you enable this right mouse button cancel angle. So that's just a really annoying setting if you don't have it. If you do have it, then it's really good. So right now, that's what it does. Basically, when you're cutting something with an angle, let's say you don't like the shape, so you can just press right mouse button and it cancels the whole thing. You see it says cancelled. And if you just want to cancel one step, for example, like this, you can just press backspace. Boom. So just backspace, 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 and you see you can just continue cutting from somewhere here. Okay, there we go. Okay, so this is like that. Okay, now we need to, I believe that's it for box cutter. Let me just take a look. Yes, so that's it. So that's it for box cutter. Very simple, quick, straightforward. Okay, and then I'll just hide those two panels on my side so that we get cleaner view. So then here we go. Let's just go into preferences right now, and we're going to tweak machine tools. Here it is, machine tools. Okay, so right now for these, actually let's just make it bigger so that we can see what we're doing. Okay, so right now enable smart vert, smart edge, smart face, cleanup, and then I believe that's it. You don't need all those things. And now for pie menus, just go ahead and enable all these ones, and transform and snapping pie, I believe. No, actually just these ones. Enable all these ones. Also, just quick tip, if you just hold something in Blender and drag your mouse, it's going to deselect or select everything. You don't need to keep pressing like this each thing, you see. If you just want, you can just go ahead and just hold your mouse down and just it selects everything. Just a quick tip, you can do this with any setting pretty much, even with something like this, you see, with transforms, and then you type in something, it just changes the value for everything, you see. Okay, so that's it with the machine tools, and also for the key maps in here, merge last, merge center, merge paths, connect paths. These are the shortcuts, you can change those. And yeah, so that's my setup for machine tools. And then for mesh machine, I just keep everything by basically default. I don't change anything. Okay, so that's it. And actually, just quickly before we continue, enable this add-on as well. I forgot to mention it before, so just install, and this is the power save. So this add-on, enable it, save preferences, and you'll get this one. So this is going to save all your files. So make sure that this use autosave is enabled, as well as autosave temporary files, and decrease this to 1. And that's it. After that, when you save something, just go ahead and save as. You save something like that. In my case, I'll just save it right here with untitled. Then you'll see this green icon, and let's say you're working, doing something with it, and then it's going to, and I'll also change this to autosave override into autosave suffix. So right now, if you just hit this power save icon like that, you're going to get saves like this. Let me just show it to you here. So untitled, and untitled 01, untitled 02, and then just keep on clicking that, and you'll just get additional saves just like that. And then it's also going to automatically save Blender copies in the specified location where you save this first one. So basically, just make sure that you create something like a project folder like that, and make sure that you actually go ahead and save, go into file, save as, and save this in here, project right here, my project, like that. And then if you're going to save it or just leave it in there, let's say you're just working, it's going to save automatically, like it says here, auto save temporary files. So all the time it's going to keep on saving few every 2 minutes. It's going to create one version, one save basically, and so that's really useful when you're working, because if you mess something up, or if you need to use some previous version of your file, or even if your Blender crashes, you will always have additional backups, and that's really important. Also, one more thing is that if you go into file, and then if you go recover, and you can usually just go ahead and click on this autosave, you can just select one of the autosaves. So but this doesn't work all the time. That's why we use this add-on. It's a free add-on, you can just download it. It's called Power Save. Okay, so that's that with add-ons. Now we're going to change our interface. I changed a few stuff there as well. So just edit preferences, and there we go. So interface, first of all, resolution scale, make it a little bit bigger. It's just easier on your eyes. I mean, I just like, my eyes don't get as tired if I'm working for many hours. So just bigger resolution scale. And then for you go into themes, 3D viewport and change some stuff there as well. So here, scroll down, so vertex select. I usually make that white, like this. And then active vertex, make it white as well. And then, let me see here, edge select, make it white as well. And then let's see, face selected. You can make it, actually, you can give it anything, but again, I just make it white again. And then that's really important now. So all we changed right now is this. When you go into this edit mode and you select stuff, right now is going to be white. That's all we did in here. Like that. All the visuals are white. And now if we just click here and then enable face orientation, you can access the same menu if you just press, with all the add-ons enabled, if you just press Alt V, like that. You can see in here all my buttons that I'm pressing and face orientation, like that. And now you see everything is blue, and that's really annoying if you want to troubleshoot. You often forget that you might have some inverted faces. So what I always do is this. I just go ahead and find this face orientation front, click on it and make it alpha into 0. Now if you go ahead and navigate, so notice that my face orientation is still on and I can work like that all the time. And then if by some accident or something I get a flipped edge, I see red immediately and I just realize that I need to fix it. I mean, trust me, that's really cool. I mean, that's really critically important in my opinion, because I see so many scenes with wrong faces, and if you just had this setting, it would be fixed. You would see and you would fix it. Okay, so that's it in this one. Then let's see, nothing in viewport, nothing here. Yeah, so navigation here, everything is fine. Yeah, so now in the system. So go ahead and click on CUDA, and this, I mean, it's a little bit more stable than optics in my opinion, and then just use your card only, don't select your processor. It's going to be slower even with those two enabled. Just select your GPU, graphics card, and then undo steps, do maximum, so you can just type in here any number, it will auto fix it to 256, like that. That's really helpful as well. And then, oh, actually there was one more setting in themes right here. If you just scroll down under 3D viewport, you'll see this setting right here, vertex size. So change this to 7, and then object origin size, change it to 7 as well. So right now if I go here, that's what we changed. This is going to be bigger now, this dot right here, because in Blender it's just a little bit too retarded. It's way too small. Okay, so here we go. And now in the system, so we change this and then this, and that's actually fine. Yep. And then just actually click on this burger menu, and then just you can deselect this, save auto preferences, and then just after you make some changes, don't actually just click save preferences, because that's useful, because if you just mess up something, you don't need to save it, you just restart Blender, and that's that. And then if you like your changes, then you can apply them next time. So that's it when it comes to settings. Now let's just change some general stuff in Blender. So let's just go ahead and delete everything in the scene. Let's press T and then make sure that this N panel is hidden. Then just hover with your mouse right here on this corner and just drag it down. This will just disappear, and then again get this cross, change this left side. I usually do it like this, then click on this and then just click on shader editor and then press M again. Maybe make it a little bit bigger like that. And that's just going to be our material panel. That's quite useful. So I leave it like this. Sometimes, I don't know, or I just close it. It depends actually. I mean, whichever one you like better. Sometimes it's useful when you can just go ahead and access all the materials in here like it was before, in here like that. So if we're working, and then you can just immediately change something like color. I just load Eevee like that. It's just useful. In this case, we don't really need that, so let's just go back. I'll just go back like that, and then delete this material from this scene quickly. Close this window right here. Actually, I'll even delete this from here. I'll delete this material from this file as well. Okay, then I'll just press A, delete absolutely everything in here, and now these settings on the right. So these are general settings. Okay, so here, select this to cycles, and then GPU, that's going to be way faster than max samples. You don't need that, usually more than 300. If you're doing interior renders, renders with a lot of glass, something like closed spaces such as interiors and just something inside of the box where light has to bounce a lot, then you'll need to increase this because you'll get smudges everywhere. So, but usually if you're not doing that, 300 will be actually enough. Then disable this denoise, you don't need that. And then go under light paths, and it's pretty self-explanatory right here. Usually you want to just have everything something like 8. So again, remember the tip that I gave you previously, just drag everything, type in 8, boom, everything changed. And then if you're using volumetrics, basically mist, fog, stuff like that, then you just remember that you'll need to increase this. But for now, and for your template, I'd say leave it at 0, because it's just way easier for Blender to render everything faster when it's like that. And then again, if you have a better computer, then go ahead and just increase everything to like 12, except volume again, because it's just, there's no need to leave it at 12. And yeah, and then let's just scroll down. Also, just quick tip again, if your scene is laggy, or if you just download some scene and you want to use it and it's very laggy, you can use this trick. You can just enable simplify, decrease the subdivision amount, and then limit textures to something like 5 or 1K. This is going to make it way easier on your GPU, and just it's just going to be way better. And you just do this in viewport. In the last render, you don't limit anything, so you won't lose any quality. You will just use some visual quality right here. But that's for another that's just another topic. Okay, and now here under performance right here, you see use tiling. So that depends on graphics card. I noticed that I have NVIDIA GeForce 1060 6GB. So for me, 1024, that's what works. And for you, just test it out. Start with 256 and then increase it by 2, something like this. Then it is multiplied by 2, 1024. Also, quick tip again, you can type in and do calculations in Blender fields. So something like multiply by 2 and then 248. So I noticed that for most graphics cards that are about 8 GB of VRAM, this will work the best, or maybe even something like from 8 to 12 GB of VRAM, 2K will work the best. And then for something like 4 to 6 GB of VRAM, I'd recommend 1024. And if you don't know how much VRAM your GPU has, you can go ahead and right click on this and just enable video memory right here, and it's going to say that right here in the bottom right, VRAM 1.3 out of 6 GB. And also go ahead and enable scene statistics like here, right here, and then system memory, you don't really need that. So just like that. Now you will be able to see how many faces, tries, and vertices are in your scene. as well as in your selected object. So if I have two objects, see it says 24 tries, and then if I go into edge mode and just select everything you see in here, it says right here, it says 6 faces, 12 tries. If I exit, it will show the whole scene. It's just nice way to know how many polygons you got in your scene. Okay, and that's pretty much it. In color management, everything here should be fine. Some people like setting this this from none to medium high contrast or very high contrast. That's just basically where when you export images, it's going to give it something like additional filter effect. I don't like this because I always edit my photos in Photoshop after I'm done, all my renders I mean, and I want to have full control over my renders, so I don't like any additional filters, so I don't change that. And yeah, so that's that. We're going to go through all those settings once we are exporting again. That's just for your template and just so you see what I'm using. Here we'll change this resolution and then everything else when we will be exporting. And yeah, then there's another thing in here, compositing. Click on this window, click use nodes, and right here make sure that you're in cycles. Okay, so now if you just go under view layer properties right here, again making sure that cycles was enabled, because if you don't enable that you won't get this setting. You enable this denoising data and you see this changes on the left. So what you need to do now is just press Ctrl A and go ahead and add denoise right here. Just drag it in here. And now this image goes into image, denoising normal goes into normal, and denoising albedo goes into albedo. That's it for compositing. And now for world, you just go here and just go into shader editor, actually make it bigger, and then switch this to world. And then actually I just remember that we need to enable some additional add-ons. Okay, so let's go through the add-ons and quickly enable them. So these are just free add-ons, and they are simply inside of the Blender, so you can just go ahead and enable them with me. So go into edit, preferences right here, and then let's just see. So enable bolt factory, and then let's see, scroll down. Yep, scroll down. 3D print tools toolbox. This one you will need as well. And then edit mesh tools, then F2, loop tools, node wrangler, and then there should be one more copy attribute somewhere. Let me just look for it. Copy attributes menu, this one as well. So just enable it, all of them, and remember to hit save preferences so you save that for the next time. And now if you just select this background and press Ctrl T, you're going to get this whole node setup. So that's Node Wrangler plugin, I believe. And you just get this texture coordinate mapping and environment texture. So you'll be able to load your HDRI quickly in here. So now we can just close this and then click File and then Defaults and Save Startup File and Save Startup File. Boom. Okay, so now if you close your Blender, don't even save it. If you close your Blender and open it back up again, give it a second to load. Boom, here, like that, you'll see everything is actually saved like you left it. You see GPU, something like that, then light paths 12, then everything is 8, and even in here compositing. So yeah, so now all the time when you open up a new project, you'll get this nice clean window, and the whole Blender will look quite nicely like that. Everything is just clean and nice. So yeah, that's about it for this one. We'll see you in the part 2.